10 seconds here. No, I think I could connect to the last slide because this is what we're trying to promote. Over the last 3 years, we have started giving this sustainability award. As you probably know, there is a questionnaire that you have to fill for your company, and then there is a selection. And so every year we come to this moment where we give the prize to at least one company. This time it will be one company. And so the 2025 EPMA Sustainability Award is given to Planze. So I would like to invite on stage Arno. Can you please come? And round of applause for Arno, please. Now the floor is to you. Yes. You have your remote. You have some slides.
Yeah, thank you, Bruno. Thank you, Lionel. Also, thank you, Adeline. Also, a great thank you to the team members of the Technical Program Committee, to the Award Committee. So, good morning to everybody here in the room. It's an honor and a pleasure to stay here on this nice stage as a representative of Planze High Performance Materials, which is part of the Planze Group in Austria, located, and getting this prestigious award. So thank you very much again. And with this said, I would like to take you to a very quick journey to Planze and how we understand sustainability and how our actions are done. Okay. Now, Planze had been founded in the year 1921, so we are an age of more than 100 years. The size of the company currently is 3,400 employees. Average sales over the past 2 to 3 years is approximately 1 billion euros, and we are operating 12 production sites, 12 countries where we are operating production sites, and sales representatives we have in about 25 countries. Now, since we are a technical company, we are also maintaining a huge number of patents. It's close to 1,000, changing from year to year a little bit. There's a C on the right-hand side. Typically, our group is starting with ore concentrates and secondary materials that are collected. And we get the tungsten and tungsten carbide powders by our company GTB in the US. And in case of molybdenum powders, we are sourcing from Molymet on the right-hand side, where we hold a pretty high share of, say, 25%. This is a company in Chile. Then we are on the right-hand side going down from powders to final products for various types of industries because of the specific property bundle of tungsten molybdenum. This is the right-hand side, where I am belonging to. On the left-hand side, we have our sister company, Serra de Zit, which is more than 7,000 people. So in total, Planze Holding is more than 10,000 people worldwide. Yeah, this is an actual photograph of the Lake Planze, which not only takes as a namesake for our company itself, but had been and is still a very important source of energy in terms of hydropower. But sustainability is, as we know, much more than energy resourcing. It's, for example, in terms of properly prepared corporate management. It's about adhering to the labor forces in our worldwide actions, and also in terms of recycling of materials, where we'll give you some examples how we behave on that. Now, what drives us with stems in view of sustainability? First of all, and sure, it's the regulations and the legislations, international ones, but also the local ones. We are fulfilling the international standards for, such as the European Sustainability Reporting Standard and also REACH. We did a lot of that and had colleagues there in order to bring REACH up. At the other hand, on the left-hand side, it's our own responsibility. So it's very important to have this word not only as a word, but also as a meaning in the DNA of the company. And so we really would like to be a safe, attractive, and reliable partner, not only for our customers, but also for our suppliers, which is more than ever important. And since we are a technical company, innovation is always a big part in our understanding. And from that point of view, in a lot of cases, we are not only following our customers, but also driving them in more and more fields. It's not only in medical industry nowadays, it's also in glass melting industry in terms of targets, and a couple of other sputtering targets, and a couple of examples more that I will show you later on. Now, when it comes to our own responsibility, this chart shows you the footprint in terms of CO2 emissions in the year 2020 on the left-hand side. So it's interesting to see that the overall footprint, Scope 1, Scope 2, and Scope 3 upstream is about 200,000 tons a year, with a considerable low fraction in terms of Scope 1 and also in Scope 2. Now, according to SBTi, so this Science-Based Target Initiative, we are committed to near-term goals or targets. On the one hand side, we are committed to reduce our CO2 emissions or our greenhouse gas emissions by 75% in Scope 1 and Scope 2 and 25% in Scope 3. Why? Scope 3 always includes the emissions of our customers, and for sure that's less easy to calculate and predict than the emissions of our suppliers. Plans so far is not defining long-term targets, but we have a bundle of voluntary targets which will allow us, hopefully, to reduce 90% of our greenhouse gas emissions by 2050, which is in accordance to the Paris climate goals. So, with Scope 1 and 2, we have certified projects which at the moment already are paying to the highest standards. Now, what is the SBTi? For those of you which are not in that field, this is a non-profit organization, or say it's an initiative collected by the bundle of a couple of non-profit organizations worldwide. They are defining standards and tools in order to have a common understanding in the greenhouse gas emissions reduction targets. And Plans is committed to that since 2 years, and currently we are submitting our goals to SBTi, where the evaluation will be done until November 2025. Now, what about rating agencies? There are a couple around the world. EcoVadis is one of the bigger ones, in particular in Europe. It's very strong, not too bad in the US and in Asia. About 130,000 companies are applying at the moment, and we applied for that 2 years ago, and in the year 2024 we already got a gold medal. Now, just recently in August 2025, we reached the platinum level. So from that point of view, we are in the top 1% of all these companies. And that's interesting because the limits for reaching this level had been increased from last year to this year. Now let's talk about circularity in terms of molybdenum and recycling rate in terms of tungsten. Molybdenum is sourced in our company by our company in Chile, by Molymet. So we are doing products out of the powders, and these final end-of-life products are then collected, at least a part of them. At the moment, the circularity rate is 32%, including used sputtering targets. At the moment, we are on the way on collecting also X-ray targets, which is a very prominent application for molybdenum, and also glass melting electrodes. So these are core products in our company, and we for sure will increase the circularity rate. What's the utilization rate? When we are at the mass of primary and secondary materials in molybdenum and weighted by the total amount of material input, then we are on a level of more than 99% within our company. That means we do not lose a single kilogram of this material during our value chain, So we never talk about scrap in case of molybdenum. The material is by far too expensive. And from that point of view, we are using almost everything that is set in the process chain. It's a bit different in case of tungsten. There we get the tungsten powders for our tungsten heavy metal alloys or for pure metal, tungsten metal components, as well as the tungsten carbide materials from GTP in the US. We are doing the production and forming components out of that, and there are two cycles. One is collecting them for reuse, refurbishment, in some cases also for rework, and the outer loop is by collecting these components, end-of-life components, and bring it to recycling. So in total, this means that the secondary material amount compared to the total material input is about 90%, meaning that 90% of scrap is used when it comes to the fraction of the material input, and only 10% are coming from ore or ore concentrates. So the recycling rate is pretty high in case of that material. Now, examples for social actions are pretty much different to the technical things. First of all, in a production site in India we are operating, there's a school close by to our production site, which is very important that it's close by, because when we are supporting these schools, we are supporting kids of company workers. At the moment we are founding 200 kids of low-income families. We are managing the school, covering the teacher salaries, and some of the Plans India workers are voluntarily acting as teachers in this school. We have also the so-called Paul Schwarzkopf Foundation. He is the founder of this company. It was established in '56 and helps young people from less wealthy families to finance their education. And for sure we have a lot of activities regarding our people, especially the co-workers and their families. Now, starting a little bit on the higher level when it comes to innovation. As you might know, Apple, one of our customers, is operating its Apple Clean Energy program. If you would like to be part of that, you need to resource your energy from 100% renewable sources, and the materials you have used or you are using have to be 100% recycled. We are part of that program. Another big company, which is also a customer from Plans HPM, is ASML, this famous Dutch-US lithography machine producer. We are in there because molybdenum is pretty resistant according to tin or liquid or plasmarized zin, which is the matter in that machines for generating this extreme ultraviolet light. So we are in there, and we developed quite some components, and even for plants relations, complex assemblies that can be reworked and refurbished. For that we got the ASML Sustainability Excellence Award in 2022. Now when it comes to technology, it's pretty interesting to see that thermonuclear fusion is coming up, at least on the commercial area. Plans decided to step out in 2008 from this community, from this industry. Also, a lot of colleagues, including mine, learned a lot about technology in that field. And we produced at that time CFC components, bonded on copper, also tungsten components. Technically pretty successful, but from a market point of view, they never entered the level where we could have a decision of, let's say, seeing this industry as a reliable partner on the customer side. Years ago, 3 to 4 years ago, when all the funding it does in the US, in Europe, and also in East Asia were coming up, a lot of, let's say, startups were formed. Some of them are really huge, with fundings of more than 100 million euros. And they are doing something different compared to the traditional industry in there. So at the moment, we are really selling tungsten heavy metal-based parts with not too much R&D along with that. Very successful, these startups. Another industry very prominent in our company is the medical industry. Recently, we are joining the development of stents, so these materials can also be used inside the body, but the classical application is the imaging, the CT-based imaging, where Planze is the largest independent producer of X-ray sources. These are the axisymmetric components on the upper left side. They are using mainly molybdenum, but also tungsten, rhenium, and also some graphite. And normally we are losing these components. Even our customers, such as Siemens, Philips, and all the others in the field, are losing these components to sources which are unknown. And at the moment we are driving them to bring these components back in order to refurbish, rework them. And for that we developed highly advanced testing methods in order to measure the wear and quantify the wear on these components and bring them to a second life. Also, for our conditions, a very advanced data-driven lifecycle management system had been developed, and now we are really trying hard to bring this to a commercial success, which is not that easy, but we are pushing our customers pretty much with that. And two final applications are more classical ones, but nevertheless they are very innovative industries, such as the high temperature furnaces. From a broader view, they look like they have been looked all the years before, but a closer look shows that on the thermal insulation system, meaning heat shielding, but also on the gas inlets and gas outlets where a lot of gas is coming in and is also going out, heat losses are which make these full metal furnaces from an energy point of view not that much appealing. But when you are designing these components in a new way, partly also using additive manufacturing, you can particularly bring down the heat loss by conjugate heat transfer. That means by the gas energy that is transported out of the furnace, and also by reducing the radiation through let's say wide viewports when hot components of the inner part of the furnace are looking directly to the actively cooled containment of the furnace. Yeah, and also I already mentioned the glass industry is facing shaky environments at the moment. Most of this industry in Europe, and especially around the world, but also in Europe, is using natural gas as an energy source, and most of them at least are thinking to change their heating technology into an electrical one, which makes sense if electric current is coming from renewable resources such as hydropower, for example. And there we also redesigning these components for further use, second life or third life, together with a life cycle management system, and trying or pushing our customers, especially the larger ones in Europe, to go forward with that. Yeah, and finally, I have to say that all these achievements are not the result of the action of a single person or a group of persons. We have established quite a couple of years ago a sustainability best practice program where a lot of departments are included and almost all competencies, not only technical ones, are included. And so from that point of view, it's a joint activity in order to guarantee that in these times where sustainability is much broader than it had been in the past. In the past it was social responsibility and energy and emissions, but that's for sure not all. So that we have this in the DNA of our company. So with that, I would like to thank you again, especially those who awarded us. And if you have questions or comments, I will be around in this conference, at least today and tomorrow. Thank you very much.